breeze, random corners with the trees, and you ain't gonna stop me from this flight. So if you call
Hello, Facebook friends. Thank you for tuning in again, or for the first time. This is the fourth broadcast from Pacifica, California. I did 2 Joni Mitchell sets, and last week I did Amy Sings Amy, the piano set. And this week is Amy Sings Amy, the guitar set. So I want to welcome you. And if you have friends that you think would enjoy this, feel free to share the page, start a watch party. And I'm happy to have Lou in the house tonight. So she's helping me with the video and the commentary feedback, so I'll be able to interact with you. So please say hi. And I just wanted to thank Lou for putting together these kind of last-minute posters, because I realized I didn't have any posters from the time period of the songs that I'm going to do tonight. So here we have it. And yeah, so I was going back through my catalog of songs, of my guitar songs, and I realized that there were just too many to do in one concert. So tonight I'm just going to focus on the late 80s to the mid 90s, which would have been my late college years into when I moved to San Francisco. I moved here in 1991, and I'll talk all about the group that I was in the early 90s. And so those of you that are fans already know. But here's something kind of exciting. So I found a old cassette tape from 1990. So that's 30 years ago, right? And it was all the songs that I wrote in college. Well, not all of them, but a bunch of them. And if you tuned in last week, you know my Walkman died and I didn't have a way to listen. Well, Lou had an old cassette player.
From high school, I might add.
Yes, so here it is, the unveiling.
Show them what it looks like.
Isn't this awesome? This is a cassette deck.
An actual, you have to turn it.
Oh, like this?
Yes.
Okay.
General Electric.
And look,
when was the last time you saw
there's
General
a handle
Electric?
if you want to hold on to it. And this right here is the speaker part of it, or you can plug in headphones, or as I have it, I've plugged it into the board. Oops. And so I was able to actually start listening to it, and I realized, wow, there's actually some good songs on there, and I didn't have time to learn them tonight. That's a whole other segment. But guess what's on there? Champagne. So Champagne,
The song, not the drink.
Yeah, no, not the drink, the song. So I did Champagne a couple of weeks ago, and it was a big favorite in the early 90s when I moved here, but it was a college song that I played with a group called Big House. And for your listening pleasure, I have it queued up to play just a tad of that song before I play it live. So here's Champagne. 30 years ago, when it was written. Brace yourselves.
But won't you meet me? Won't you meet me here tonight? 'Cause there's champagne on the table that's enough for me and you. We're gonna talk about the good times and the things we used to do. 'Cause I'm looking out my window and the sun is setting low. I got no place that I have to be and no place I should go.
Yep, that was me 30 years ago singing Champagne. So I'm going to sing that song for you now, and then we'll talk a little bit. So Lou, if you could help me out, and she's my guitar tech tonight as well, which I really, really appreciate. There's Lou. Wave. Say hi.
I am. Hello, everyone. Here's your
All right.
guitar.
Okay.
pick is in the strings.
Thank you so much. So this guitar, oh, this is the other treat. This guitar, let me take this off. It's a Yamaha, and it was my second guitar. My first guitar I got in high school, and then I traded it in for this one when I was in college. I went to the music store, and this one just yelled out, "Take me. You will write many songs on me." And sure enough, I wrote most of the songs that I'm going to be playing tonight, I wrote on this guitar, including Champagne.
Your friends think my head is cut off. I just looked at the replay. They only got from here down. So I'm going to go say
All right. Okay, say hello again, Lou.
I have to get really low.
Yeah.
Oh,
There she is.
Hello,
All right.
everybody. I can't get up.
Okay, you can get up. That's what happens after 30 years. So this is the guitar that I wrote Champagne on. And I thought, it deserves to be played tonight. Don't you think so? It sings. It sings when I play Champagne on it.
Did it sing to you in the store?
It sang to me in the store. All right, here we go. For an answer, or do you want to go? I really miss you, though I see you every day. Is there something you should tell me? Should I be on my way? I hear you're busy, you got money on your mind. Oh, but I don't need excuses, I think you're doing fine. But won't you meet me? Won't you meet me here tonight? 'Cause there's champagne on the table, there's enough for me and you. I'm gonna talk about the good times and the things we used to do. 'Cause I'm looking out my window and the sun is setting low. I got no place that I have to be and no place I should go. Back when I was a tomboy, Dad would say, oh, you'll always be my baby girl. Hey, you're prettier that way. But still I wonder, but maybe he was right. 'Cause I don't wanna lose you, and I don't wanna fight. But won't you take me, won't you take me anyway? 'Cause there's champagne on the table, there's enough for me and you. I'm gonna talk about the good times and the things we used to do. 'Cause I'm looking out my window and the sun is setting low. I got no place that I have to be and no place I should go. Back, don't be afraid, 'cause you don't have to stay. Just tell me that you love me, or tell me that you may. I'm feeling lonely and I'm feeling real afraid. Maybe I don't have just what it takes to make it through each day. But won't you meet me? Won't you come to me today? 'Cause there's champagne on the table, there's enough for me and you. I'm gonna talk about the good times and the things we used to do. 'Cause I'm looking out my window and the sun is setting low. I got no place that I have to be and no place I should go. Hey, so much. If you guys are just tuning in, that was Champagne, and I wrote that in 1988 when I was in college, and I wrote it on this very guitar right here. I mean, this guitar has seen a lot. I actually didn't even change the strings for the show because I'm only going to play it for this song. But it's pretty beaten up, and if you came to any gigs in the 90s, you probably saw this guitar. So I'm gonna hand this over to Lou, and come on back. You didn't know you were gonna get to do all this fun stuff. Yeah, let's see. I got my notes here. Right. So I'm gonna do the what did I say? The Tacoma. I used to have a Takamine. But now this Tacoma guitar that Lou's bringing me, I got in 1998. There you go. So this would have been after I wrote all of the songs that I'm doing tonight. Should we take a moment and say hello to anybody who's joining us?
You mean because I walked to the other side of the house? Sure. Let's see who we've got. You've got some big fans.
All right.
All the way from Texas.
Oh, who's all the way from Texas?
Oh, 2 guesses.
Well, I don't know.
2 of your biggest fans.
Jill and Susan and my mom. All right.
Yep.
Cheers, Mom.
Melissa Mao.
Missy Mao is in the house. Awesome.
One of our favorite music people and donor of guitars from Palo Alto.
Rick Cuevas, yeah.
That's one of your biggest fans.
I know.
Oh, one of our theater friends, Minna Rogers.
Minna is back.
Minna is back.
I hope you guys heard the cassette tape version of Champagne. If you're like, what? We didn't hear that. Let me know, because it's priceless. It is so freaking priceless.
A lot of returning fans.
I might have to bring it out later.
Glenn Kasperzicki, Tim Pond.
Oh, Tim.
Kyle Alden Thayer.
Tim from Big. Yes.
Tim from Big. Lori Lloyd Caps.
Oh, Laura Lloyd.
Yes,
from high school.
Who appreciated the history of electronics and a show. Oh, Laura, I could tell you so much more. And then another dear friend from Texas, Diana.
Diana Boswick.
Yep.
What, you stayed up?
Oh my God, Glenn just said the same thing. I've got one of those but lost the cord, so I have to use double D batteries.
Oh.
Well, Glenn, we had to put C batteries
Which Glenn?
in there. Glenn
Kasperzicki. Yeah, okay, so
We
I'm
had to
so
do the
glad
same thing.
that you...
I
So
mean,
if you
I know it's somewhere, but yeah.
if you missed it, I found a tape from 1990 of me singing Champagne. It's just priceless.
Oh, and Sierra.
Oh, Sierra, did you know what a cassette player is? Cassette tapes? You're too young for that, right?
No, because what she did was she takes her iPhone and tries to shove it in the cassette player
Oh,
in my
right,
car.
right.
Yeah, you know.
Oh.
There's that. And real quick, we got Julie Minoff from San Francisco. We've got Lori.
Julie, I know she rearranged her schedule tonight to watch the show. So thank you, Julie, for being here.
She does know that it gets recorded.
No,
You
but
can
she
watch
wanted
it
to be
at
here
any
with
time.
us. So
She wanted to be
and
here
I understand
live.
that. Yeah.
And then we've got Loretta Janka.
Yes,
Janka.
from Musical Cafe.
Oh, hello.
Yeah. Hi,
And
Loretta.
another one of your biggest fans from the East Bay, Kate Larson.
Yes, Kate. All
She
right.
always
Thank
tunes in.
you.
Julie is posting again. We love you,
Aw.
Amy. So I'm sure that means her husband, her child, and all the dogs in her life. Oh, Julie did not get to hear Champagne. Well, Julie, unless you have a cassette player, you're never going to hear it.
No,
so.
we'll let you hear it.
Oh, and Dad.
Oh, Dad's here too.
Dad's
Good.
here too.
All right. Hi,
Our
Dad.
kinfolk just tuned in. It's Debbie Dean.
All right, Debbie
Our
Dean from Cisco
kin.
Grill.
If you're in Texas, if you're in Dallas, head over to Cisco Grill.
I need my
Snyder Plaza? What's the name of that place?
Snyder Plaza. I
Snyder
need that
Plaza.
gray pick. If you can, the gray pick for this. I left it in that guitar, and I didn't mean to. Thank you. It's when you have 3 guitars around here, it's super hard. Yeah. Ouch. All right. So we're gonna keep it rolling because we want to do some
I wish we
music.
could go to Cisco Grill.
I
Our
know.
favorite place.
All right. So we're back in 1988, and I wrote Champagne when I was in college, and then I wrote this next song called Cheap House Wine, and both those songs followed me out here to San Francisco and ended up being played in Plain Folk, which I'm going to talk about in a minute. So it got a lot of airplay, and they were just all-time goodies. So here we go with Cheap House Wine.
Like Wine Wednesdays at Cisco Grill.
Tuesdays.
Tuesdays.
Well, something's going on, something's going on, something's going on tonight. You can feel it in the breeze, rounding corners through the trees, and you ain't gonna stop me from this flight. So if you call me up at midnight and I'm not around, well, you might as well forget it, 'cause baby, I ain't gonna be found. Well, something's going on, something's going on, something's going on tonight. I'm just doing what I please, oh baby, can't you see that you ain't gonna tell me what is right? So if you call me up at midnight and I'm not around, well, you might as well forget it, 'cause baby, I ain't gonna be found. And you can give me money and I'll say, hey, you're doing fine. Oh, but I need honey and not just some cheap house of wine. Well, something's going on, something's going on, something's going on tonight. You can feel it in the breeze, rounding corners through the trees, and you ain't gonna stop me from this flight. So if you call me up at midnight and I'm not around, well, you might as well forget it, 'cause baby, I ain't gonna be found. And you can give me money and I'll say, hey, you're doing fine. Oh, but I need honey and not just some cheap house of wine. Yeah, not some cheap house wine. Well, something's going on, something's going on, something's going on tonight. And your silly little pleas and the way you look at me, and the way I know the timing just ain't right. So if you call me up at midnight and I'm not around, well, you might as well forget it, 'cause baby, I ain't gonna be found. And you can give me money and I'll say, hey, you're doing fine. Oh, but I need honey and not just some cheap house of wine. And you can give me money and I'll say, hey, you're doing fine. Oh, but I need honey and not just some cheap house of wine. Cheap house of wine. Cheap house wine. Cheap house of wine.
Woohoo!
All right, that was some cheap house wine, and I've got some cheap house wine here too.
But if you're looking for some good wine and you're in Dallas, Texas, you can get good wine at Cisco Grill, open for takeout and limited in-house.
What are they paying you to
dining
do this or
experience.
something? What is going on here? I'm gonna have to mute your mic. You know.
I miss my kin at Cisco.
I know. Are these ads? Yeah, they're paying us. But it really, seriously, Cisco Grill is a great place. I get my wine at the Grocery Outlet Bargain Market. Because, you know, you can get some, you talk about good deals. All right, so we are going to stay in, we're just going to stay right here in Plain Folkville. Plain Folkville. So when I moved to San Francisco, cut that reverb, I put out an ad because, you know, we didn't have cell phones, we didn't have the internet, we didn't have email or any of that. So we actually had to go and put flyers up on bulletin boards, right?
You mean the printing press was invented already?
Yes, it was. So
Thank you, Gutenberg.
So we had to put up flyers and things. So I put up a flyer that I was looking for musicians at the San Francisco Conservatory of Music. And that's how I found Adrienne Biggs. And Adrienne Biggs was a violinist. She was a classical violinist. And what was great about her is that she could also improv. A lot of classical players, you take the music away from them and they don't know what to do. And they're like, I can't play. But Adrienne was different. She loved not being confined to the music. And we just really hit it off. And musically, the two of us we formed a duo and we called it Plain Folk. And then a little bit later on, these two ruffians here on the outside of the picture joined us, and we became the Plain Folk
Let's get them in
band.
there.
It was a quartet. So
What year was this again?
This picture was probably taken in 92. Yeah, I think 1992. So I moved here in 91. So I met these people pretty quickly. So over here, this is Jerry Slavonia when he had hair. And as you recall, if you tuned in last week and saw the piano set, he produced The Wheel with me and a lot of the songs on Crossing. And then this is Robert Preston over here. If you might know him from Get Real Studios. He's an engineer now.
I think I have a crush on 1990 Rob.
Yeah, look at him with all that hair. And well, I did too. So he actually played bass in this band. And he's a guitar player, but I love guitar players that play bass. I just like the way they play it. Like my buddy Rick Cuevas, who is an awesome guitar player, but I love his bass playing as well. Rick.
I kind of have a crush on Rick Cuevas too, I think.
And so then there I am with the vest. I'm there with the vest. And then there's Adrienne. There she is with her violin. And this was taken on a roof in Coal Valley. I lived in Coal Valley, and so did Rob. But yep, these are the good old days, and this is about the time. In fact, I think we had this photo shoot right after we laid down tracks for the Gray Tape. This was our release. It was the Gray Tape, or
I can't get it to focus. Hold steady.
it was also the Blue Tape. It's the same thing, but we couldn't decide if we wanted to make it gray or blue, so we did both. And this was before this was before independent artists could do CDs. So we did cassette tapes. Woo! This was released in 1992, and Champagne was on it. That's what I opened tonight with. And Reaching Out, Someone Else's Hands, Marrow, Mother's Daddy, and I Like Us was on that lovely cassette. I'd tell you to go out and get it, but I don't know where you could, right? I guess I should digitize it. I probably did at one time.
Give it to Rob and have him digitize it.
Or Rick,
Or
right?
Rick.
All right, so we're gonna do.
They could probably play it at Cisco Grill.
They probably okay. Enough on the Cisco Grill.
Debbie keeps writing back.
Well, thank you. So we're in Plain Folk, and one of the other songs that we played, that came later. When did this one come? Oh, the next tape. Okay, I'll talk about the next tape in a minute. I'm going to play a song called Burning. So for you fans out there in television land. All right. There's trees in the playground, and I've climbed them all. The things I pretended come back to me every fall. But how many times do I walk through a feeling without ever being here burning, and the years keep on turning up miles of new terrain. And I love all the music and the rides in the car, those rock and roll headaches from those rock and roll bars. But how many times do I flow through a feeling without ever seeing. And we're out here burning, and the heads keep on turning, and we're further and further and further from pain. I think Adrian Biggs had a nice violin solo right about here. And we're out here burning, and the years keep on turning, turning up more of the same. Yeah, we're out here burning, and the years keep on turning, turning up more of the same. Oh, we've got the clap track back. So that was Burnin', and Burning was on, I'm going to show you now.
Well, wait a minute.
What?
Glenn Kasperzicki
Yes.
said, I've digitized my gray tape as one long song. So, everybody
Oh,
just friend Glenn Kasperzicki. Just look up every consonant in the alphabet and you'll find him. And then he will get it to you. Hey, we also have Lauren Dean, who just
Hey,
tuned
Lauren!
in
I am so glad you tuned in. We
all
are
the way from
fro-
Dallas,
yes.
Texas. Also at Cisco
Okay,
Grill.
Lou has been obsessed with Cisco Grill tonight.
I miss them so much.
I know. So, Lauren, you just tuned in. We're talking about songs that I wrote in the late '80s and early '90s, way before you were even an idea.
Before
And-
Cisco Grill was an idea.
And I was, all right, that's it. I'm shutting her off. No more Cisco Grill. All right. So we're talking about cassette tapes, if you know what those are. And our second release was called the Pink Tape. You may be wondering why we called it the Pink Tape. Well, there was pink on this side, so we called it the Pink Tape. We were really creative with our names, the Gray Tape and the Pink Tape. And with the Pink Tape, Burnings on the Pink Tape,
Did someone go to Vassar College? Cheer for the pink and gray?
I don't know. So this was the band that was on the Pink Tape. So you'll notice that Rob is still there, but Rob now plays guitar, and then Steve Neal joined us. Where is he? Over here. Steve Neal joined us on bass, and then right there with the sticks, that's Alan Thiel, who joined us on drums, and then there's Adrian.
Who was the drummer before?
We didn't have a drummer, so we added drums. And then Adrian there with her violin and her cigarette, because it was cool to smoke back then. And then there I am. And, you know, my hand is like hanging down here. I don't know. Maybe I was holding a cigarette. Who knows?
Your mother's on.
Well, come on. I mean, I was in my early 20s. I tried a cigarette once. And this was taken at Spike's. Do you remember Spike's? That then became Cocoa Club, south of
long time
Market in
ago.
San Francisco. Right.
Wait, what's that in Rob's hand? Oh, that's a Tecate beer.
No, but I'm
That's
sure
what
he has a
Ana
beer.
Maria Escobar said, Rob Tecate.
Right, exactly. And like, look at that. We were youngsters, because this was probably 1994, right? So there we are, and then we had the Pink Tape, which had Someone Else's Hands, It Ain't Right, You Look a Lot, I Like Us, Rival, Burning, which you just heard, Champagne, which you heard first, and Sheep House Wine, which you also heard. I'm going to play You Look a Lot, which was on this, and You Look a Lot was also released. I have to back up. So my buddy Rick Cuevas, we released around the same time, one in 94 and one in 96, Rick and Amy Volume 1.
No, medium, just not in front of your face. Yeah, there you go.
And then we had Rick and Amy Volume 2. And some of the same songs that I did with Plain Folk, I did with Rick, and some of them I didn't do with Plain Folk, and only Rick and I did them. So Rick and I have been talking about doing a live broadcast when we can,
getting the band back together.
Safely do that. But Burning was on the Rick and Amy Volume 2, and it was also, of course, different versions, and it was also on this one. And then You Look a Lot, that I'm about to play, was a Plain Folk version, and then there's a version of the Rick and Amy one on the Volume 1. So how about that?
So if somebody wants a Rick and Amy CD, they just write to Rick Cuevas.
Yeah, or go to my website, or write to Rick, exactly. So if you're wondering
what that sound is, it's Rick Cuevas making new CDs for you.
Exactly. So I am playing an open D, for those of you that are, geek heads about that. And it's because I was really heavily influenced by Joni Mitchell, if you didn't know. And I wrote most of my songs during this time period in open tuning, either open G. No, wait, sorry, this is open G. I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm in open G right now. I'm about to move into open D. This is You Look a Lot. So thin, these little fires, and we brave the pain of its desires. I took all those pennies from the wishing well, and I placed a bet. All the people in the town, they ain't talking about us just yet. And you look a lot, yeah, you look a lot like the fantasy I dream at night. And you look a lot, yeah, you look a lot like the burning bush I can't get out of my sight. Now every ride has its price, but the gods had mercy on us, and they let us ride twice. And now it's just a funny story that we sometimes tell. But don't forget that getting here we had to go through days of hell. And you look a lot, yeah, you look a lot like the fantasy I dream at night. And you look a lot, yeah, you look a lot like the spirit, ghost, and holy light in me. if you're just joining us, my name is Amy Myers. Thank you for tuning in to Amy Sings Amy, the guitar set. And we are going down memory lane, and I'm playing you some songs I wrote in the late 80s and into the mid 90s. If you don't know who I am and you're like, wow, how did I stumble upon this? You can visit my website, amymyersmusic.com, or you can tune in. Oh, there's the. You can tune into my YouTube channel at Amy Myers Videos, all one word. So let's see. I'm going to move on to another guitar, I believe. Yes, I am. So Lou, could you? It's the Guild that I want next, and I'm going to ask you to do a couple of things. Could you take the capo off of the Yamaha and hand me the capo? So we're going to move on, and I'm going to play 3 songs. And these 3 I kind of wrote all around the same time. A lot of times as a writer, you'll write in pairs or in triplets, or at least that's the way it was for me. And they're kind of similar either in style or in theme or in tuning. And so these 3, I believe I wrote somewhere around 93, 94. Thank you, Lou. And yeah, so I kind of, they kind of fit together, so to speak. Now I am an open D, but I'm capoed up, so I'm really an open F, if you're a stickler for that. Thing about open tuning, and with capos and everything, it wreaks havoc on the tuning every time you make a change. So, you have to just be patient and bear with me.
Because of the coefficient of elasticity of the strings.
Exactly.
Every time you put a moment of force on them, you change
it just doesn't
their
sound
dynamics.
right. It doesn't sound right if... There we go. All right, so this song was never, well, I'm not going to say never. It never went on a plain folk recording. It's called Sooner or Later. And, well, we did record it, and I think if we had released a second CD, it would have gone on there. So I do have some old recordings, that they're just... But it did go on the Rick and Amy CD. So Sooner or Later is on the Rick and Amy Volume 1 CD. But we did, Plain Folk played it a lot. So if you were a Plain Folk fan, you'll remember this one. Oh, too much reverb on that. You can chase them back. You can chase them just like that. You can find another guy. You can find him just like that. You can lie to the wind. You can lie just like that. But sooner or later, you're racing through the fall, and sooner or later, you're taken by it all. You can smile and fool us all. You can smile just like this. You can hide your little needs. You can hide them just like this. You can scream until it bleeds. You can scream just like this. But sooner or later you're racing through the fall, and sooner or later you're taken over by it all, and sooner or later you're racing through the fall, and sooner or later you're taken by it all. By it all. By it all. Yeah, that was Sooner or Later. All right, that's good. So we're going to do a song now that was never released. It's never been released on any album. But before we do that, I want to check in and say hello to you folks out there in television land. And we
really
surely
wanted to do this, but I left my glass.
and we surely do thank you for all those cards and letters, you folks out there in a television land. Can you name who that is?
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful.
Wonderful, wonderful. Turn off the bubble
let's
machine.
See. Julie Manoff does have a cassette player. Ooh, Jesse Cortez and Yvette are watching, not together. Those are separate ones.
Yvette. Did you hear Champagne? Did that bring back memories? If you did, oh man,
Christopher Arnold had the blue cassette.
All right, Tofi had the blue cassette. Now, something about Tofi. Tofi lives in the apartment that I lived in for most of the Plain Folk band years. So I wrote a lot of these songs that you are hearing in Tofi's apartment now, and he has the blue tape.
Lauren Dean said she's very happy to be watching, and if anybody comes into Cisco Grill and mentions this video, if they come in on Tuesday, they'll get half-price wine. How about that?
Oh, yeah, right. Good deal, Lauren. Wink, wink. I won't let anybody
totally
know.
made all of that up.
Oh, okay.
Except for the wine. It was actually, half price. So Jennifer West Shalom Tirana is not in the
house, no.
But she is watching. And she made two connections. One, that she has many times been to Cisco Grill. And two, her daughter works at Sing It.
Grocery Outlet Bargain Market.
Very good. Oh, Glenn Marr has joined us with Tony.
Tony, all right. Hi, Glenn.
Brad Bensky.
Yeah, Brad, that's a friend of Lucy's. Hi, Brad.
Oh, hi. Where is Lucy tonight? And Ronnie Johnson.
Hey, Ronnie. How you
Our little
doing?
Halloween friend.
We're going down memory lane here.
And one of our favorite drummers, Pete Gascoigne.
Pete.
Who does a 7 o'clock show, I believe.
7
right?
o'clock
7
rocks.
O'clock, right, 7
He and
o'clock
Groovy
rocks.
Judy, who I like to call Groovy.
Our theater buddy, Crystal, from Mamma Mia.
Oh, Crystal. Hey, Crystal. How's Oregon? She moved up to Oregon.
She did?
I think so.
Everybody's moving to Oregon.
Well, they just are. Shall we keep going?
Christopher Arnold says you sound great.
Aw, thanks, Tofi.
Jill Bramlett said you need to write a song about my favorite restaurant in Snyder Plaza.
Oh, God. All right, the Cisco song is coming.
Cisco.
Okay,
Grill.
so what I was talking about, I wrote three songs. Sooner or later, the next song I'm going to play, and the next song. So this one is called "This Lovin'," and we played it a lot, but I don't know why it never ended up on a recording. I have a recording, but it just never got released for
Look
whatever
at your
reason.
Boots. They're showing up nicely in the frame now. I'm going to show everybody your boots.
Oh, Judea Eden gave these to me. Oh wait.
Just notice how well they're showing up.
Well, thank you. This is called "This Lovin'." No. Don't get me wrong. I've thought about this loving for so long. You wanted peace, but coming there to get you, I got weak. Sometimes we really get along. Sometimes I'm barely hanging on. And you are asking me for love, and I am asking for you just to go. It's all a show. And when I get backstage, I'll let you know. But when it's thin, it can be so easy to give in. Sometimes we really get along. Sometimes I'm barely hanging on. And you are asking me for love, and I am asking for you just to go. You are asking me for love, and I am asking for you just to go. That was called This Lovin', and it is not on any CD, but we played it a lot back in the early to mid 90s. I'm going to do this next song was part of the trilogy that I wrote, and it was on the next CD that I'm going to talk about after I play the song. So we're going to hop right on into that song.
That's a question. Did we do This Loving on K-Fog? Oh, K-Fog.
Wait, who asked that?
Rick Cuevas.
Maybe, I don't know.
When K-Fog used to be a real radio station.
Does he remember that? Yeah, I did do some K-Fog. I was on K-Fog for some shows.
And Pete says, thanks for the shout out. And we also want to shout out to his guitarist, Groovy Judy.
I did. I said Groovy and
just
Pete.
Teasing. His guitarist, Groovy Judy.
Yeah, no. His guitar is not Groovy Judy.
His guitarist.
Guitarist. I thought you said his guitar.
No, his guitarist is Groovy Judy.
Right.
Or Pete is Groovy's drummer.
Exactly. However you want to look at it. So again, thank you
7 o'clock rocks.
Thank you for tuning in, and we're gonna jump on into, well, we're going to talk about that real soon, but we're going to do this song first. I'm just stealing this nighttime fun as I am reeling in all this mess that I have spun, and you think I'm a crazy, always running all around until I just can't run. But on a Sunday afternoon, all the shades pulled down and the party's really small. If this ain't making love, then I'm making love in spite of you. And if this ain't making love, then there's nothing I can really do. It's gonna be a long, long, long road ahead of us. La, 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 la. As I am dealing in all of this dealing I have done, I mixed up feelings, trips, and mind games. Sometimes I'm just so sick of everyone. Oh, but on a Monday afternoon, I'm just playing, and there's a humming down the hall. If this ain't making love, then I'm making love in spite of you. And if this ain't making love, then there's nothing I can really do. It's gonna be a long, long, long road ahead of us. La, 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 right, that was called The Jazz Tune. Very original name for the jazz tune. Oh, oh, good. I thought I'd turn that off. No, this is yeah, actually, you know what? You could take this aside for just a moment because I'm going to talk a little bit about the album that was on. So let's see. Where are we? Where did that cover go? Oh, there it is. I see. So the Plain Folk Band, after they did the gray tape, that was the quartet that you saw earlier, and then they did the pink tape, we put out a CD. The Plain Folk Band, Ashbury Hill. Woohoo! Now this was actually a big deal because we were one of the first groups in San Francisco, in our posse, to put out a CD. We were doing cassettes, and then it just wasn't affordable for an independent artist to put out a CD. So we got on that bandwagon, and this was released in, I believe, 95. Yeah. So this was released. Yeah, in 95. And, I know what I was going to talk about. I don't know if Michael Ross is joining us this evening, but he's attended lots of these concerts. And Michael Ross was, I guess he saw us at some shows and became a fan. And then little did we know, little MFA from Yale, right, and graphic design. He did the design for us. So this was the Plain Folk Band. It's on the poster here. And inside, we have little cameos.
Well, let's hang on. Let's show them the poster first. There's the poster. And this was from your Yaley. Bulldog, New Haven.
Yeah, from Michael Ross.
And then what are we showing them here? Wait, we got to let the autofocus. Okay.
Oh, well, you already saw the cover. So that's kind of the inside. We had little cameos. I think that Audrey took some of these photos. These were like from band rehearsal or something. I don't know. And so that was the cover. And, I know what I was going to say. So at this point, this is what the band looked like. So Alan Thiel is no longer with us on drums. It just, that's the way things go. We like Alan, I think.
Oh, but he's still with us on Earth.
Oh, yeah. I think things just shifted and changed. And so
we are getting up there in years. You never
Luke
know.
Pyro joined us on drums. Luke. And I think Luke has actually tuned into some of these.
He has.
To some
Luke
of
has been here.
Yeah, so I don't know if he's here, but there's Luke and his shades. And there's Rob with a beer this time. Right? So he does have a beer. And look, he got a haircut.
Wait, I can't see his beer. Let's see if the people at home. Where's this beer you speak of? Oh, it's in his left.
It's in his hand.
Right
there's
hand.
There's Rob with his beer, and then there's Steve Neal. I think he's wearing the same shirt that he wore in the. He is. Look at that. He's wearing the same shirt.
He's wearing that shirt tonight, I think.
I think it's his gig shirt. And then back in the back in the hat, that's Catfish Jack, and Catfish Jack played harmonica. Yeah, we became more of kind of a rock band at this point. Well, kind of rock, I don't know, country rock, rockabilly. And there I am looking cool, I guess. I don't know. Do I look cool?
Oops. Well, you just fell down.
That was not cool.
Let's show it again.
Yeah, I've got that that.
Okay, hold it steady.
That angry, hey, I rock San Francisco, yeah, rock and roll look to myself. So this was the band that put out the CD that we're talking about, and Jazz Tune was on that. Actually, Jazz Tune was nothing like any of the other stuff that we did. It was kind of one of those quirky, jazzy type songs. Most of what we did was more rock and country. And I'm going to give you a taste of what that was. Oh, but first... Oh, I'll take my guitar back. Lou, if you can... Is Michael in the house? I wonder... Oh, sorry, the guild. Because Michael Ross actually requested this song a few weeks ago. Well, that's all right. Michael Ross, who did the graphic design, he requested this song a few weeks ago when it just wasn't the right time to do it, but it is now. So I'm going to do... What You've Done to Me from that CD. And again, thank you guys for tuning in. And
Tuning in while you're tuning.
exactly. Yeah.
Don't let that. Sorry, you served that one up too easily.
And
Those of you that missed it, when Amy said, "Can you get me my guitar?" I was mouthing the words, "Which one?" Because we've got that one, and then we've got that one, and we've got that one.
well,
Tuning.
that
supposed
no,
to be
I'm
an interlude while you're
that's what
tuning.
happens when you have when you play an open tuning. All right, so we're gonna do a song called "What You've
Why
Done."
aren't you playing that one?
Well, that's a cello.
That one. Well, next week we'll have the cello concert, right?
Yes. I won't be playing the cello, but we'll have a cello concert with somebody playing the cello. All right. If it just took a little glue to mend a broken heart, then I would give myself to you and never fall apart. But don't you know what you have done to me? But I love you just the same. I keep screaming what you've done to me. Oh, baby, won't you please just go away? I just got caught up in the hue between the dark and light. I guess I was holding on to you just too damn tight. But don't you know what you have done to me? But I love you just the same. I keep screaming what you've done to me. Oh, baby, won't you please just go away? I just keep looking for the youth to give this thing some air. But if you want to know the truth, it's killing me out there. But don't you know what you have done to me? But I love you just the same. I keep screaming what you've done to me. Oh, baby, don't you ever go away. All right, I've got a few more for you off of the Plain Folk Band Ashbury Hill CD. Now, this one is Why I Wore My Boots Today. So, I did grow up in Texas. So, you got to have a song about being a Texan, right? If you are a Texan. And like I said earlier, we kind of did more country rock-ish stuff. We kind of moved away from folk when we were a quartet, and it was Adrian and I, and then the four of us. It was a little more folky, and then we got a little more rocky. And so we are going to do...
I have a bulletin text message request from Julie Minoff, who wants you to say hi to her friend from college, Dan Eckert.
Oh, okay. Hi, Dan.
It must be important because she texted it, too.
Oh, no? Well, okay. Well, hello, Dan. Thank you for tuning in. And Julie, thank you for turning on your friend to tune in. So welcome to our concert here.
And RJ has offered to play the cello.
All right, RJ. Lori and RJ. Oh, boy. Oh, Lori told me all about your fun concert yesterday in the heat.
We will have to get a wide-angle lens because you and RJ will have to be 6 feet apart if we do this.
Yee-hoo. All right, you guys, it's time to go down Texas Lane. My friends at Cisco Grill will like this one. Yeehaw! And shout out to my mom and dad. You're going to hear all about them. Here we go. I never dreamed I'd be a Texan. Hell, I have fought it all my life. Mama's name is Libby and my papa's name is Bob. It don't get much southerner than that. Grandpa works for Kroger and Grandma makes peach preserves. Serve me up fried okra, then turn me loose up in that pecan tree. It's really not so bad being a Texan. These people from Texas say that. I have got 100 pair of boots. That's right. I got some right here. Oh, it's really not so bad being a Texan. Yeah, you can knock me down, but you cannot kill the root. Now I have got 100 little pictures. Southerners just doing their thing. And though I do not plan to go back there, it sure looks good from far away. Grandpa smokes tobacco and Grandma drinks iced tea. A little southern drinking, and at 12 years old I'm a coming home late. It's really not so bad being a Texan. I have got know you want to sing it. Here we go. Oh, it's really not so bad being a Texan. Yeah, it's really not so bad being a Texan. No, it's really not so bad being a Texan. Well, you can knock me down, but you cannot kill the root. Is that a cow?
Yes, 'cause that's what they have in Texas.
Well, don't have a cow over that one. All right. Thank you for tuning in. We have, and a chicken. We've got a couple more songs for you. And like I said, this was a show to kind of take us from the late 80s, although there's actually a lot more songs that I've discovered from the 80s, so I might have to check those out. But for now, we're doing the late 80s into the mid 90s, and that will take us up to the Wheel. So we're not going to get into the Wheel or Crossing or Strange and Beautiful or Lucky tonight, because like I said, there's just too many tunes. So you'll have to
this
tune
shelter in
in.
place is going to go at least through the summer, so
So you'll just have to tune in, another time, possibly next week. That's what I'm thinking. So I got two more songs to do off of the Plain Folk Band CD, and this is one of my favorites too. Little story song. A friend of mine was gone to the Grand Tetons. Have you ever been to the Grand Tetons out there in Television Land?
I've been to the Grand Tetons.
You're not in Television Land. You're here.
I'm running the television.
Oh, okay. So, true story. This said friend, well, you know, Deborah Pardes. She wrote me a postcard, and on the postcard it said, "All of these big rocks, and I think of you." She had a way with it. She would come up with the weirdest things. I'm not exactly sure what that's supposed to mean. All of these big rocks, and I think of you. I don't know if that's maybe I'm grounded. Maybe I'm rough around the edges.
Maybe you're hard-headed.
Weigh in on what you think that means. But I got a song out of it, and this became kind of like a thematic travel song. And my friend Audrey makes. Oh, wait. Speaking of Audrey, I've got to share this. I almost forgot. So remember last week when I showed you the artwork from the Wheel, and the inside cover was in black and white, and I said that Audrey had done paintings in color. I found a few of them, and I want to show you the one of my grandmother, because she was in the last song that I just did, the Being a Texan. Grandma smokes tobacco. No, not grandma, grandpa. So if you remember, if you tuned in last week, and you know what, if you didn't, and you think you missed the show, it's still on my Facebook page, and I have all of the both Joni's and last week's piano up on Amy Meyer's videos on my YouTube channel, and I put it in iMovie, and so last week we crashed and we kept having to restart, so they're all stitched together, and now it's all one show, right? Amy Meyer's videos. But here, this is the original artwork of my grandmother with the Ferris wheel behind her with the pies. So this is on the inside cover of the Wheel. Yeah.
Sort of looks like Hillary Clinton now.
What? Well, actually, you know what? It kind of does. That's kind of scary.
What was Grandma's name again?
Lena May.
Lena May for president.
Hey, I love it. Lena May for president.
Now, I'll bet your mom and pa would vote for that woman.
I'm sure they would. She makes good peach preserves. Okay, so anyhow, Audrey's in this song too. Let's do it. It's called Mexico. Jill's probably jumping up and down. All of these big rocks, and I think of you, she writes on a postcard from the Grand Tetons. I'm busy thinking, yeah, I'm fighting myself again over all these beautiful, beautiful roads. She's just missing her direction. Oh, go to Texas or to Mexico. You won't find it when you get there. But if you got to, then you better go. My good friend Audrey, she calls me the other day from Colorado. Says she is going abroad for a year. She's looking up herself in an atlas. She's just missing her direction. Oh, go to Texas or to Mexico. You won't find it when you get there. But if you got to, then you better go. My dad's a simple man. He likes his peanut butter deviled ham corn chip sandwich dipped in alphabet soup. He says, baby, you can do what you got to get yourself free. You're just missing your direction. Oh, stay in Texas, won't you? Come on home. You won't find it in the California route. But if you got to, then you better go. 'Cause you're free to go. Yeah, you're free to go. Yeah, you're free to go. That was called Mexico, and still a favorite among friends and fans, and it's still one of those that's fun to play. You know, sometimes as a songwriter, you get requests and some songs just become stale and old, and I don't know, that's a song for me that it just doesn't I don't know, yeah, it just doesn't lose its zeal for me, so I always enjoy playing it. Okay, enough with the sounds. We're going to wrap it up here, so I do appreciate you being here, and if you'd like to tip me, that would be awesome. I'm a teacher and I am getting a paycheck, but I've had a lot of gigs canceled and things like that. So every little bit helps, and it helps to upgrade equipment as well. Get new guitar strings, things like that. So don't feel pressured by any means, but if you want to, go ahead. The information's down there right on the bottom of the screen. There's a PayPal and there's a Venmo. And I hope that you will join us, join me next Thursday. I'm going to try to do some more guitar songs that come a little bit later in the 90s. So I'm going to end here with a song that was written in 95 that I still do today. So a lot of my fans that knew some of the later albums, you'll be like, wait a minute, you always play that song. I know that song, right? This is Stay With Me, Honey. And believe it or not, if you were not a fan during the Plain Folk Band years, I'm looking for when I wrote it. Oh, I don't have it here. I don't have the lyrics because I don't need the lyrics. I think I wrote it in 95, something like that, because it was on, wait a minute, it was on the Rick and Amy CD. Which one? Yes, it was on Volume 2 that came out in 96. And it was a sleeper release on Lucky. It didn't go on Lucky, but it was released as a single. All right, here we go with Stay With Me, Honey. This is going to be our last song. Hold on. It's going to be our last song as soon as I tune up. Like I said, open tuning. I've played too many gigs with songs where I was not tuned up and I suffered the whole song. It's not worth it.
The audience, they have suffered.
Yeah, audience suffered. You did, trust me. All right, now we can do it.
That's a record.
I was born too early in the morning. I was born on the wrong side of life. Waking up in another strange apartment. My friends all say my morals just ain't right. 'Cause I am calling yet another taxi. I got my hat, my coat, my boots, and I'm trying so hard just to put myself back together again. And they say, who won't you stay with me, honey? One more night. Who won't you stay with me, darling? Don't you put up a fight. Now, there is kind of a little jazzy bridge to this song. And depending on which group I play with, I don't always spring the jazzy thing on them because it's not your typical 1-4-5. But it's just me, so I think we're going to do the jazzy bridge. Well, I like the way your jeans look on your body, and I like the way your jeans look on the floor. I really wish that you would make this harder, then I would see fit to love you more. Instead of calling yet another taxi, I got my hat, my coat, my boots, and I wish you had the guts to stop me from leaving again. Then I'd say, won't you stay with me, honey? One more night. Won't you stay with me, darling? you put up a fight. Oh no, don't you put up a fight. So once again, thank you guys for tuning in to Amy Sings Amy, the guitar set, late 80s through the mid 90s. Visit my website, amymyersmusic.com, my YouTube channel, Amy Myers Videos, to watch any of these replays that you might have missed, or you can stay on the Facebook page and do it. Join me next Thursday for more guitar songs for the later 90s and the 2000s. And with that, we are going to say good night and thank you. And
You have a question from
Yes.
the millennials. They want to know what you mean by calling a taxi. They have no idea what that is.
yeah, it's like calling an Uber,
There you go.
right? And I'm calling yet another Uber, or you don't really call an Uber, right? Good question, though, huh? Anyhow, we're ready to say goodnight. Thank you, Lou, for helping out with the guitars and the video and all the commentary. And good night to all you people in television land. I'm so glad we had this time together. And good night, everybody. That's your cue.
Oh, and good night, Mrs. Calabash, wherever you are.
Reaching